home to a place where the best come to race. They come down to a town called Avondale. In that town, there's a track, and it keeps them coming back. Roaring engines drowning out the coyotes' wail. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. An oval so fine with a dog leg at the line. It's a shape that you don't see every day. The drivers line up to come take the cup. It's such a pretty sight, I gotta say. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. Phoenix Raceway, let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun where the best around come to play. Let's watch the fast, the brave and bold, making left turns for the gold. Let's head out to Phoenix today. Let's head on out to Phoenix Raceway. Let's head on out today. Let's have some fun in the desert sun where the best around come to play. Those cars got zipped, they're quick and plucky, zooming around, trying to get lucky. Let's head out to Phoenix. Hooray!
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, to the Obi Builders Cup Series season finale from Phoenix, presented by Stealth Racing. I'm Sheldon Atkins, joined in the booth by Joe LaCastro, and for the final time this season, Austin Derbyshire down the production truck. And Joe, what do you have? What are you looking forward to here tonight as we get ready to wind things down for the final time here from Phoenix?
Well, I'm looking forward to a hell of a race at a tough track. The dog leg here at Phoenix often catches people by surprise, and it's just a weird shape, just a funky oval, and I kind of love it. But it's going to be something that, you might have heard some reports. I think NIS had some trouble here last night, and if NIS had some trouble here, though, that's not usually a sign that OB is going to have some trouble, because these guys do like to race a very clean race. So my anticipation is that we are going to see some pretty incredible racing here down to the line for the last race of the season.
Yes, it has been a geological oddity that the top guys from the A Open and NIS field always come here to the OB Builders Cup Series racing each other and run a solid, clean race. But it has been a long season starting in May, and it all comes down to this to decide everything here, at least for a bunch of positions later on the grid. Right now, though, at the top of the board, Sean Conklin has 100% ran away with it, won it pretty much a few weeks ago. But to get things done here in the desert, we'll start off with the keys to the race here, and we'll be pretty blunt about this speedway. It's a track position race. That dirty air is going to be everything. It's going to be real difficult for guys to make moves. So next up, you're going to have to focus on having a race-winning strategy. 2 tires or staying out. Put yourself up at the front of the pack. Give yourself a better shot at it. And then restarts. Going to be everything. You want to defend as much as you possibly can. But if you're trying to pick off some spots, you're going to want to pretty much put that thing down there by the infield hot dog stand to try and make passes here through the dog leg, because it's going to be very difficult once you get a couple laps in and get the tires up to temp.
All right, yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, go right ahead, buddy.
Well, we're going to hand her on to the broadcast picks here tonight, and I may have slipped on mine, so I'm probably going to go. I'm going to go with that 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. I feel like he's been putting together some really good runs here. May not be race winning pace, but he's definitely going to be stout to say the least. How about you, Joe?
Let's see. You're going with the 41 of Bryce Rayner. I'm looking at the grid as it stands, and I don't know. Something tells me that Matt DeCiani is going to have a good run tonight. Number 5 here, Matt DeCiani. I'm thinking that he might have a good run. It's a matter of the tea leaves, but hey, look who our man down in the trucks picked.
We got the double DeCiani pick. Looking for that redemption arc after last week at Martinsville. But we're going to get the starting grid up here on the board, and right now, starting P1, Roger Ears-Pierce in the 27 machine with Sean Conklin as outside your season champion. On the grid, P3 is going to be Adam Benefield, last week's winner at Martinsville, with my pick Bryce Rayner in 4th. 5th place is going to be Randy Mullins with Matt DeCiani to the outside in 6th. 7th going to be Evan Say in the 333 machine with Daniel Wiles in 8th. 9th place off the grid is going to be Timothy Harper with Brian Johnson rounding out the top 10. Joe?
Moving right along, Paul Gallimore in the 11th place with Brandon Pasalacqua. That's 2nd place on the overall in 12th. 13th, Luis Becerra. 14th, Patrick Gitter. 15th, Lou Christian with 16th, Tim Wortman Jr. And on the 9th row, Chris Vinson in 17th with Shane Clore in 18th. Russell Black in 19th, and rounding out the 20 car field, or the 20 cars, Alexander Carr. Take it away.
And starting 21st, going to be Greg Carr with Keith Long to the outside in 22nd. 23rd, going to be the 50 machine of Josh Schaffner with Thomas O'Hara in 24th. 25th place, Jose Medina with Richard Kleinman in 26th. With 27th position on the grid here, going to be Chris Davis, Corey Moore, Chris Crosby, and Chris Hudson rounding out the top 30. And to finish out the 31 car field, going to be the 2 machine of Joshua Hyatt.
It's a nice full field here at Phoenix tonight.
Absolutely, 31 cars, and that's, aside from Martinsville last week, it's been pretty much full grid since we started in May. Once this series got their feet under them, a lot of strong names, heavy hitters packed in here. And I tell you what, man, it's just been an incredible season, and I'm excited to see what these guys have in store here tonight at Phoenix, because we've seen some big moments, especially in the last couple weeks. As we watch the 31 car field work its way through 3 and 4 into the OB restart zone. The green flag is out. Roger Pierce gets to the gas nice and quick here, cutting down through the dog leg.
Wow. Look at everybody cutting down through there, the full field. Getting things started here at Phoenix.
Side by side through 1 and 2. Real tight racing here. Champion to the outside, Sean Conklin trying to get the lead early down the back straightaway with a whole head of momentum into turn 3. But here comes Roger Pierce trying to tiptoe around the bottom, but it's not going to be enough. Conklin uses the highline momentum to propel himself to the lead here for lap 1. victory. One
Yeah.
teammates attempt to go toe-to-toe. Conklin edging out front here through 1 and 2. And look at the diamond that he's running there, Joe.
Watching that right now. Long run there up to the wall, but then he's way down to the inside.
There's a close moment there between Becerra and the 4 machine of Brian Johnson as we almost go 3 wide there for a second. Now Becerra having to give up a spot. Here comes Brandon Pasalakwa sending it deep through 1 and 2. But Becerra going to get to the throttle quick on that outside line, get the momentum to pull him down the back straightaway with the advantage. Now Pasalakwa really has to get up on the wheel and gas it if he doesn't want to lose a spot here to Tim Wortman, who's also working the top.
Pasalakwa down through the leg into turn 1. He's got quite the field behind him right now as the number 7 of Luis Becerra comes down to the inside. It's leading 2 cars, the 28 and the 3. That's Luke Christian there with Tim Wortman Jr. on his outside. These guys have been side by side for a while now as we come back to the line.
You see Wortman using the outside line now to pull him ahead of Luke Christian, trying to find some kind of advantage to get to the quarter pound of the 7 machine. And it's really felt like a top line dominant week, especially in the B car. I ran the SOF this week, and it felt like you couldn't really do anything on the bottom. Just feels like there's no grip to complete a pass on the inside line. You really have to stab the car deep and hope it sticks to make it work on the low line. And this early on the tires, it just feels like a really bad call to make. You look through the field here right now. Shane Clore trying to work the outside line, but up at the front, Roger Pierce takes a peek to the outside. The door gets shut in his face, though. Conklin hanging on to the lead here through 3. They say it's a 4-corner racetrack, but I swear it's not. That fourth turn does not feel like it exists. It feels like a backwards version of Pocono to me.
Yeah, yeah, as Darby just said, mini Pocono is a good way to describe the shape of this track. It's just that the way that it's got that long kind of finish out of 4 that makes it just shy of being Pocono itself.
Yeah, just the way you attack the corners here feels exactly the same, especially when the track layout was, well, kind of 1-to-1 with that of Pocono, with turn 1 being the short corner and 3 and 4 being the sweeper, which also makes me want to say Pocono is a 4-corner track because the way that turn 3 sets up and spits you out feels like it's 4, but for some reason we went with this being a 4-corner track and Pocono being a 3. When we even have the dog leg here, which you could consider a corner, especially in the original layout. But I'm just too far in the weeds right now if you could find them here in Phoenix.
In the tumbleweeds.
Cacti. I'm out here in the cacti right now.
There you go. Ooh, very, very close right now. Right behind the 28 machine there of Tim Wortman Jr.
And a tag to the wall for Shane Clore. Heavy contact to the outside.
Yeah, he's very close to Russell Black right now. The two of them nearly door to door. Here's the view inside from Clore.
You're right on board with Clore, working the outside line right now, just trying to hold that 64 machine low. Sends it deep into the corner, though. Slides up a little too much. Going to lose a little bit of momentum here, but not enough. Russell Black going to have to fall back in line behind him. The outside line is just super dominant this week. Feels like they sprayed about 200 pounds of PJ1 up there.
All right, my ignorant butt's going to ask, what's PJ1?
PJ1 is track prep. So you know when you go to a drag strip, Joe, and you see how the tires are sticking to the racing surface in the
that
launch.
I do know.
Yeah, it's the same basic thing. They've got different variants of it for different surface types. You got PJ1. I think VHT was one that they were using for a bit too, or something like that. And just different forms, but same kind of principle.
Oh, that's awesome. Learn something new every day.
Oh. Of course, I think nothing's better than just dumping a whole bunch of Coca-Cola down myself. Like they, to this day, they still do that on pit road, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Just to get it sticky?
Teams will come out there and just dump Coca-Cola all over the pit box. Kind of help the drivers with the stop coming in and the launch coming out.
Hey, whatever works, whatever's NASCAR legal, right? So we got eyes on the racers here. Tim Wortman Jr. He's in the
Sometimes
28. Chris Vincent.
Sometimes it doesn't even have to be NASCAR legal. I mean, you know, these teams will try anything.
Yeah, that's true. NASCAR legal means until it's not, basically.
Who's to say that Coca-Cola bottle hasn't been replaced with a little bit of PJ1?
That's fair. That's fair. Take a sip of that for me, will you?
No, Mr. Official, I'm okay.
Sure, you're not thirsty, son?
Yeah, I only drink Coke Zero, official partner of the eNASCAR Pro Series.
PJ Zero, maybe more like it.
Shane Clore trying now to the bottom of Russell Black to make the pass here. Black working the outside line, though, wants to get past that 72 machine. Down the back straightaway, Russell Black with the advantage coming into turn 3. Close, almost a hip check down the back stretch. And Black sending it way wide through 3 and 4. That's not going to work out for him. Low into the corner, it feels like it will, but it just doesn't.
Stays high here, kind of rides the inside there. Russell Black not going down to the line, preferring to save the momentum on the outside, trying to see what he can make up, but just looks like he's not quite making up any ground here on the 72.
I'll tell you what, this right here, this will show you how impactful the dirty air is here at Phoenix, by the way. Russell Black sitting there in that 64 Team Conti setup machine. Same equipment, same setup that Adam Benefield is running there in 3rd place and Bryce Rayner's running in 4th. Problem is, he's so stuffed back in traffic right now, he just cannot get anything done. Same pace. You know, these cars, we have a lot of tire fall off this week, a lot of lap time dip. But thing is, you plateau at the same point as everybody else. It's not like, you know, some tracks where you can really, you know, be nice to the car and it'll last you a lot longer and you'll have a lot more speed at the end of the run. You know, it just feels like here everybody's just equalized from the start of the run to the finish. Across the stripe that time, Russell Black, see him sitting there struggling a little further in the back of the pack, and a 27.443. Up at the front of the pack, Roger Pierce, 2nd place, ran a 27.401. 4/100ths of a second separating these guys on pace. Now, Conklin's in a different area code right now in lap times, but he's also got that clean air, giving him a little over a 10th advantage on lap time right now.
Timothy Harper having some kind of issue here. Let's see. Looks like he went down pit lane. Let's get a little replay action here. Look back in the Wayback Machine and see what happened. Once again, eyes on Timothy Harper there, the 51. Whoa! He certainly did go down pit lane, but not intentionally. Oh, okay. He came out the end of pit lane. All right. What a save, though, Timothy Harper. Good save after that wall tag.
Yeah, that was an incredible save for him. I hope that wasn't a penalty, though, because sometimes if you cross down there like that, it'll throw you a black flag at some of these tracks for improper pit exit or entrance. Hopefully iRacing isn't that heartless today.
Well, we're taking a look at things. I don't see anything in terms of a warning or anything along those lines, so I think that he's good to go. That's true. Good to have him waved out there. That's very true. Right now, we've got another battle shaping up here as the 7 of Louis Becerra. Pardon me, Luis Becerra. I want to make sure I get that right at this point. Chases down Luke Christian there on the inside there.
And trying to make something happen here on the bottom, but we've seen how difficult that is. Luke Christian committed to that outside line out. The 7 machines there. Just going to try and hold that car behind him as long as he can. Becerra sends it deep into turns 1 and 2. Almost gets in the door of the 3 machine. Christian going to pinch him down the track, though. Becerra going to lose all that momentum. And back to square one here for him to try and make this pass again.
Yeah, I felt like that was his moment, and he just wasn't able to capitalize on it. Becerra still back there behind the 3, but he's going to go down much deeper on the inside there across the dog leg. into turn one, and he is going to have a lot more advantageous position. But again, he slides back just enough to fall out of it.
You just have to get up top, maximize those RPMs if you're trying to set for a pass. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get the job done. You know, these cars, this is one of those tracks I'm going to be interested to see next year when we get that increase in horsepower, if it's going to make any difference whatsoever. Because this is one of those places where it just feels like you can't do anything just about anywhere. You just kind of log jammed. As you see, Becerra now trying to the bottom again here through turns 3 and 4. Going to get close to being able to clear the 3 machine of Christian, but Christian going to fight back up top. Here comes Becerra cutting the dog leg, trying to get as much coming into turns 1 and 2 as he possibly can, but not able to get away from the 3 machine of Christian. But now he's going to send it deep into turns 1 and 2 with a huge slider, and that's going to be enough to make the pass. Here comes Christian peeking to the bottom, but the dirty air is going to fall into the favor of the 7 machine as Becerra takes a spot away.
Yeah, that dirty air became a solid wall. You saw what happened there. Luke Christian just fell back, and now he's dealing with the exact same problems that Becerra was trying to deal with when he was trying to make the pass. That dirty air is really, really tough to get through.
Absolutely. One car that's working on getting himself into the positive right now, though, the 6 machine of Brandon Pasalakwa started this thing off 6th place, already up to 12th, and in front of him, up 4 spots from where he started this thing off, Patrick Gitter, 14th to 8th. Pretty good little drive through the field for him so far. But those are really the only 2 outliers, because most cars pretty much stagnating within a spot or 2 of where they started, aside from Timothy Harper, who had the big slide, falls from 9th to 20th.
And a lot of people sticking around where they are here.
Opens some machine of Becerra, gets a little bit of contact with the 13 of Wiles, sends Wiles up the hill. What does Daniel Wiles do in retaliation here as he comes into 1 and 2? Don't mean much, can't get to the back bumper with ease. It's going to be difficult. Becerra continuing that march to the front here in the 7 machine.
We're on lap 29, looking for lap 30 here out of 200. We're a little over a 10th of the way there, folks. We've got a good race ahead of us still, and these guys have got a lot of strategy left at play that's going to need to, well, just play out. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing how some pit stops are going to start messing with things here in, about 40 laps or so, 50 laps or so.
Pit stop's going to throw a huge wrench at this race, especially when it comes to track position, because, we've heard a lot of talk this week about how quick these guys have been wearing through tires. And that's in, A Open and NIS, where they, feels like you only get about 30 green flag laps a race. Some drivers talking about coming down pit road and having like 35, 40% on the right side tires. Kind of similar to what we saw at Dover a handful of months ago. Look at Pasalakwa working the inside line here. DeCiani trying to work the top. Brandon moving himself up into the 7th spot. If he could just clear here down the back straightaway in the 6th machine, going to be able to do it. And this is a good track for Brandon, too. I remember in ISCA, he was really fast here earlier in the season before OB got started up. If I remember correctly, I think he won that race.
He might have, yeah, I think so.
Did he, Joe? We were there.
We were there. I'm kind of admit I don't remember exactly, but I think he might have, yeah.
Look at Becerra now down to the inside. Wiles trying to fight back again on the outside line, right behind Paul Gallimore. All the way down to the bottom here through the dog leg. The 7 machine of Becerra trying to keep that 13 machine at bay, but here comes Wiles working the outside line. The question is how aggressive is that 13 machine of Wiles going to get? You remember they made a little bit of contact earlier.
They did just a little bit, but Wiles ended up going up and bumping the wall after that contact. Not enough to really take him out of the game. Obviously, he's still sitting in 11th right now. But that contact, it's not going to be easily forgotten.
Well, as you see, Wiles clear the 7 machine of Becerra. Becerra not going to try too hard on the 13 right now. As you look off the rear deck lid of Daniel Wiles here through 1 and 2. A little bit of a tag to the wall there, but not going to slow him up any. Now I'm trying so hard not to get this track backwards because it's still burnt into my brain, the original layout.
Burnt into your brain. Well, for someone obviously who's a little bit new here, how much has it changed? Is it really that much different?
Well, where you see Conklin right now in the center of the back straightaway, that was originally the front straightaway. This was turn 1.
Oh, wow.
You see Conklin working through here. And then the dog leg was the back stretch, but when they decided they were going to move the championship race here in 2020, they decided, hey, let's just invert the layout of the track. That way we can make opportunities for big restart moments to make the racing exciting. See if that doesn't fix Phoenix. And well, it also apparently the sun was in everybody's eyes when the stands were on the other side. But I don't know, buy some sunglasses. So how I feel about that.
That's good. Yeah, okay. All right. I can see that.
And Darby also alluding to the fact that the dog leg used to be grass, but that was about, what, 15, 20 years ago now at this point? 2011 is when we got the repave that got rid of the original dog leg, so it's been longer than that. About the 15 ballpark. I don't know. I can't do math, guys. Y'all should know this by now. The number is 14.
Oh man, I bet even though it was grass, a lot of drivers still drove all over it, right?
No. If you drove over it, you were pretty much dying because it
Oh.
also didn't have the banking that we have now. So, and there was a big curb down there.
Oh, okay. Oh,
If you want to try it,
it's a
that
free track on
layout,
iRacing.
yeah, the original layout of Phoenix Raceway is a free track on the service, and with a lot of
Well,
character,
I
a lot of
like that.
bumps, and that place drives so great compared to this version that it doesn't feel like the asphalt has aged a day since they paved it.
Well, that's interesting. I might have to give that a spin sometime. I do love free tracks.
No, you wouldn't dare going down to the grass on that version of Phoenix because the rear of the car was always so light because the front stretch, or the back stretch, currently the front stretch, had absolutely no banking. As we see Gitter working down to the inside here of the 333 machine of Evan Say to try and make a pass here for 7th. And he's going to make it here, and he's going to cut the dog leg to try and get past that 333 machine. And no momentum for Evan Say, so the spot is going to be Patrick Gitters as he moves up into 7th. And here comes Paul Gallimore. And Gallimore's been on some pretty good runs here the past couple of weeks, looking to keep that momentum up in the 17 machine. And it's been a good turnaround here the past couple of weeks. And up into the 33 machine of Evan Say, a little bit of contact here through 3 and 4. That might not end well.
Oof, not at all. That was a pretty good amount of contact, yeah. Oh. 3
Here
wide.
comes Daniel Wiles around the top and Louis Becerra down to the flat. Paul Gallimore getting cycled out here, and that's just because of the momentum he lost when he got into Evan.
Yikes. What a ridiculous situation. That 3 wide now has smoothed itself out, though. And once again, Blue Christian back in command, trying to find the inside on the 5 of Matt DeCiani. And DeCiani's got a smooth line right now. The 3 just does not have that momentum.
And right now, the pass for 5th place happening. The 6th machine of Brandon Passalacqua gets past his teammate, Randy Mullins, take over P5. It's been a pretty good run here so far from Mullins as well. You know, the 54 machine's had a lot of struggles this season, but sitting right now in the 6th spot, 45 laps into Phoenix. Definitely the run that he was looking to finish the season out with. And you also got to remember, the driver of that 54 machine he's racing hurt still has a broken foot. And we're here at Phoenix, and this is a track where you're on the brakes a lot. You know, not as much as we are at Martinsville, but this place will really wear out that left foot because you got to do a lot of modular braking to make this thing work.
Oof, a lot of modular braking. Another term I'm going to ask you to explain. What is it? You explained the track coding to me earlier. Now, what is modular braking?
Well, I'll explain that in just a second because we have Becerra going at it with Wiles again. Becerra down to the inside here through 3 and 4. Wiles working that middle lane. They're real close, a little bit to go, but the 13 machine going to slip himself back up into the 7th position. Sorry, the 8th position over Becerra. You know, modular braking is basically just controlling the entry to center rotation of the car with the brake pedal. So basically what you want to do is it gets talked about a lot more at the road courses because, you know, you're on the brakes so much. It's all about your braking there. Don't really talk about it as much here at the short tracks, but it's basically, you know, you load the car into the corner with, you know, a heavy stab of the brake. Then you just gradually roll out of it the deeper you get into the corner until you hit center. Then you just kind of let the car roll for a second, then start stabbing on the throttle.
Okay. I can visualize that. Thank you for the heads up on that. That's it. I feel like I learned something twice today.
One of the most common mistakes short track racing on the sim or just in real life in general is people, you know, carrying basically the same amount of pressure on the brakes all the way through the corner, or you know, slamming on the brakes, getting into the corner, and coming completely off the brakes. And when you do that, you throw the load of the car in ways that it necessarily shouldn't be thrown, because these things, you know, you want to gradually roll in and roll out of everything.
Yeah, you don't want to be stabbing at it. Oh,
so just not finding out. Benefield was the first car in the field tonight to cut the dog leg so deeply that it actually registered him on scoring as on pit road as opposed to the track.
Oh man.
DeCiani not cutting the dog leg. That 5 machine coming down for 4 tires and fuel.
Is it about time? Is it about time for these guys to start cycling through? Quarter through the race, it's a good time to do it.
How about the run from Sean Conklin this season, Joe?
It's the absolute kingly run. An absolutely kingly run. Yes. Yes. A kingly run out of Sean Conklin. Beautiful. Like, it's it amazes me what this guy can do, and I can't wait to see more and more.
The 21 machine of Patrick Gitter down pit road. Good season for him this year. But just none compared to the run out of that 10 machine. You know, since we started this thing off, when he got in here his first week, it's just been lights out pace, week in and week out. And you know, here we are. Was it 15 wins this season, going for the 16th? Then back from his 2-week vacation in the Bahamas. One of those weeks in the booth.
He did really good up here.
Oh, man. Incredible. If he ever gets tired of the driving thing, you know, we definitely got a job for him here. I can tell you that. You know, it's always cool. You know, we've had the luck of having some pretty good driver guests the past couple weeks between him and Benefield and Roger Pierce. And, you know, you never know what you're going to get when you get somebody up in the booth, you know, that just turns the wheel on here. You know, some guys, they either get it, some guys, they don't. Like I say, last couple weeks, those 3, it's been a lot of fun.
That'll be something that we keep in our repertoire.
I'll definitely have to pull more folks up in here at some point. Look at Tim Wortman Jr. right now trying to hold off the 64 machine of Russell Black. The 3 of Luke Christian diving down pit road here to make his pit stop. 56 laps on the board. Sean Conklin leading across the start-finish line. Looking at Josh Hoffner now going toe-to-toe with the 18 machine.
Ooh. Race sponsor right there on pit road. Look at that.
Absolutely.
What's right on the top of that car?
That would be Stealth Racing, buddy.
Big thank you to them.
And definitely big thanks to Stealth Racing this week, by the way, for sponsoring the season finale here for the OB Builders Cup Series. We look at more battling here. The 41 machine of Bryce Rayner moving up into the third spot. Brandon Pasalacqua looks like he's trying to stay out a little bit later, saving a little bit extra.
Ooh.
Oh,
Crash
no.
Here. Let's go back and see this. It was Brian Johnson there having a bit of a self-spin moment.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it coming into the turn. The back end of that car just never connected.
Yeah.
Front of the
Just
car's
kept going
turning
around.
great. Back end's going straight, and that's just not where you want it to go. Watch 54 machine of Randy Mullins on pit road here.
And Jose Medina. Look at that beautiful paint scheme on that. The robin's egg blue with the gold and white. That's a
Yeah, nice
gorgeous
looking.
paint scheme.
Yeah, that VMC Tequila Cocktails Camry definitely looks pretty stout. I like the gold on it too.
Yeah. Oh, man.
It's
That's
always a good
one
touch.
of the prettiest
You will-
paint schemes I've seen this year.
You will always win me over with metallic. It's just simple. As you see Bryce Rayner bringing the 41 machine down pit road here. Looks like a little bit of a... Is that a little bit of a Halloween livery we see there? Looks like some jack-o'-lanterns on the side for the Team Conti Chevrolet.
Yes, indeed.
Cool looking stuff.
What we like to see with the holiday right around the corner, being tomorrow and everything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to trick-or-treating with the youngin' tomorrow. Got her baby shark costume all ready to go. And we spent yesterday evening carving pumpkins.
Well, that's wonderful. My youngin is just old enough now that we're not going to do any trick-or-treating anymore. But it's been we're going to play some video games and have some fun, just like I do every other night of the week.
Yeah, there you go. You got to play something like Phasmophobia or, something like
Yeah.
that with them.
The Outlast Trials actually has been my latest go-to.
Oh yeah, it's spooky season though. You gotta hit, something like that or like Dead by Daylight. Something. Gotta get
Or-
festive, Joe. Come on, where's your Halloween spirit?
Oh, it's right here on the iRacing track here at Phoenix Raceway.
There's nothing scary about Phoenix. Now, if it was Martinsville last week or Talladega, then we'd definitely be on brand.
Ah, yeah.
See Roger Pierce bring the Camp Ryko Lake Camry down pit road. And we get a beautiful shot here. That was Tommy Gossett on the hood in the Jason Voorhees mask.
With the Ryko stamp right there on the jumpsuit.
And
Pierce looking for his-
every other setup shop or team that you could think of slapped on the hood as well, looking terrified. Totally not a Chat GPT, right? doesn't look anything like the Grid Vision Looney Tunes car that I had
no.
at Richmond a few weeks ago.
Completely original hand-drawn art.
Funny though, because I totally do the whole Looney Tunes thing, and it just kind of looked like the M&M's cars from back in the day for me with the big white gloves on everybody. I don't know why I did that. So we have our race leader now on pit road. Sean Conklin brings the 10 machine down for 4 tires and some Sunoco fuel. That hands the lead over to the 72 machine of Shane Clore, and I think these are the first few laps that Shane is... Oh, did he just lose the right front tire coming into the corner? That 72 machine shot way wide up the track.
He's bumping around a lot. Thump, 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 it sounds like. But he didn't lose it.
No, I think he's definitely got something wrong with that 72 machine. If it ain't flat, it's on the verge of it. The way it's swinging wide like that. But first couple laps that he's gotten led in quite some time here this season. Yeah, he did not like what he felt there. He bringing the 72 machine down pit road here for 4 tires and fuel. And that hands the lead over to the 43 of Chris Hudson, who's, you know, had such a strong midsection of the season, and just the last, 10 weeks or so, it's been downhill. Tough sledding for the 43.
Yeah, you mentioned metallic paint, though. Chris Hudson's got to be a standout.
I'd put Chris Hudson up there in that top 5 bracket for paint schemes this season. You got a Mustang painted like a P51 Mustang. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? Especially with the big red tail on it.
You just can't. Ooh. Conklin back out in the field is in 8th at the moment, down 6 from where he started. Weird spot
a
to
lot
be.
of these guys. I think a lot of these guys fit a little bit earlier than that 10 machine. It's a lot of fall off here this week. The good news is Sean's setting himself up to potentially take one less pit stop over the rest of the field if it all works out.
Okay.
See Chris Hudson on pit road here. Last car to come in. One of the last cars to come in. We still got Chris Davis to come down. Was the Chris and Chris show up here at the front. Davis going to stay out here to try and get a lap lead, get this 5 bonus points. You know, championship may be done and dusted, but some of these guys still trying to make a little bit of forward progress here. And coming down to the last week, every point matters.
Yep, that's right. You want to look good after you cross the line on the final race, not at the final race. So there still is this week to make things look good for a few of these drivers.
Chris Davis, another one of those guys that's kind of had an up and down season, but looking to finish things strong here at Phoenix tonight.
And to the inside goes the 50. Josh Schaffner. He makes the pass nice and clean. The 74 of Chris Davis, your race leader right now. Schaffner is able to stay ahead and avoid getting put back a lap.
$72 laps on the board here, and we're pretty well cycled into this first run. We're going to go off and have a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on the grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to the OB Builders Cup Series. We are 79 laps into the season finale presented by Stealth Racing. Field in the hands right now of last week's winner at Martinsville, Adam Benefiel. Pretty quiet race here. Strategy puts him up in the lead right now. Sean Conklin charging hard, though, 1.8 seconds back. Trying to get back to the rear bumper of the 83 machine and make a battle for the lead. And the thing that I'm interested in seeing is we're going to find out about how important tires versus clean air here is for that 83 machine at Benefiel. But not going to be that easy, though, because he's kind of stuck behind some of this lap traffic.
And yeah, one of the consequences of us going as green as we have for this race is that now lap traffic is a real concern for these guys who are like, oh, I'm going to stay out and get the benefit of being out longer and get the benefit of a different pit strategy. The lap traffic is going to start messing with that benefit. It's going to start being a diminishing return. And I'll be interested to see how Benefield makes a play, or if he does, or if he just sits back and kind of enjoys working from where he's at right now.
No, he's definitely going to try and hold on to that lead, but that lead diminishing quickly. Sean Conklin putting a blistering pace together here. Now got that lead down to just over a second. Another car this race starting to move his way through the field, too. That 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. Really bringing some pace here when it counts to Phoenix Raceway.
Rayner shooting down to the inside of the 21 here. There goes Patrick Gitter. Smooth move from Rayner.
Right there, it's classic what you see with Patrick Gitter. You know, old school mentality for the driver. That 21 machine knows that 41's faster, doesn't want to cause any issues, doesn't want to hold him up too much, doesn't want to hold himself up either. Lets that 41 car go under as soon as he gets to the back bumper. Give and take. That's what it's all about, and that's why the OB Builders Cup Series has been so great this season, because we've seen a lot of it.
Yeah, that's true. A fair amount of give and take for sure. We want more.
Cooler.
Yeah.
Got to lead a couple laps here on an old set of tires. Moved himself up into 17th position here, trying to make a good finish. And with some of the fresher tires on the field, too, shouldn't be too difficult for him to carve through at least some of these guys that pit real early.
Watching here.
Working. I keep stepping on you, Joe. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, my friend. We're both just getting excited by what we're seeing. I think that's just the natural way of things here with this race. But here we are, eyes on Benefiel, as he is once again trying to just make things work with this lead that he's got. The lead is not a huge one. Sean Conklin is knocking on his door, saying, hey, I'm less than a second behind here, and if you aren't going to make a move on those lap cars, then we're going to have a problem.
Right now, the difficulty for Benefiel is, too, he is on those older tires, so that pace starting to diminish on the 83 machine. Conklin on 9-lap fresher Goodyears. And, I mean, look, man, it's Sean Conklin. When it comes to tire saving, I mean, how are you going to hold off this cat in this 10 machine?
You're probably not. That's what's going to happen when it comes to tire saving, specifically throwing that caveat in there. It's just not going to happen. Tire saving is something that he is well aware of, and he's proven time and time again that when it comes down to the wire, when you get down to the line, it's going to be Sean Conklin there in one form or another, unless he's not on the racetrack at all.
It's two different lines you're seeing out of these guys, too. You see the 83 machine Benefield keeping it low, tidy on the bottom, which is what we expect out of him. You know, he's typically a bottom feeder when we come to tracks where you have different lanes to pick from. Always goes to the bottom to try and preserve those tires. And Conklin, you know, somehow found a way to make that diamond line work for him. You see how Conklin comes in real low, lets the car slide up about a lane and a half, then sends it back to the bottom. What he's doing right there is he's setting the car up to have a great corner exit while maximizing his entry at the same time. And instead of keeping that car down there on the bottom and kind of bottoming out the RPMs a little bit, he's able to kind of let the car stay more open in the rev range.
Ooh. Heavy bounce off the wall for Bryce Reiner.
Bryce also cleared himself up into third place there. Got 4 seconds to go if he wants to get up to the race leaders. If these two start battling pretty hard, it might work out for this 41 machine to close up a little bit of ground.
Yeah, right now the ground to close up is pretty substantial. About a 4-second gap between him and Sean Conklin. So he does have some work cut out for him in terms of making that gap up. But if Benefield and Conklin start getting into it, that gap
and
is
here
going
it is
to
for the
close
lead.
and
Here's
close.
Conklin. He's closed. He's up just shy of the back bumper, the 83 machine of Benefield. And he's going to send it deep down to the bottom here into the dogleg to try and make the pass. Side by side now to 1 and 2. And Benefield's going to let the 10 machine have it. Sean Conklin going to take the lead back here at Phoenix.
And you know what? Sean Conklin earned that spot back. Nice and clean drive. He's got a car length or two now on Adam Benefield. Benefield falling back closer and closer to Bryce Reiner now.
Right now for Benefield, he's just got to hold on to what he's, got here until the next pit sequence. He made up a good amount of track position there with the strategy call working in his favor. And one car that's absent from the front here, something substantial must have happened to Roger Pierce on pit road, because sitting back in 10th place, he was running shotgun to Sean Conklin the entire first run. Pit stops come through in that 27. Mired back in traffic right behind the 5 machine of DeCiani.
Mired's a good word for it, too. Just stuck there.
I wonder if the straightaway is long enough for Roger to text us in the chat and tell us what happened.
Maybe. He is pretty good like that. We'll have to see if he's got the ability to bang on a quick sentence or two on it.
Yeah, I don't know if we should be calling him Roger Pierce or Roger the Keyboard Warrior, because he gets to that keyboard pretty quick in these races.
The Keyboard Warrior. Oh, boy.
Look up the front, Sean Conklin, your race leader over Adam Benefield in second. Third, Bryce Reiner with Patrick Gitter moving up to fourth. And Brandon Pastelacqua, one of the biggest movers here today, sitting in the 5th position. Starting to close in on the back of that 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. That is your second place man in points here this season. Levine, for whatever reason, decided to pretty much forfeit here in the closing weeks. And has moved that 6 machine up the board here to finish out the year.
And that's been a really good opportunity for Brandon Pastelacqua, and who is sitting second place. Not going to be able to make points up, obviously, on Conklin, but second place in this league is going to look like a whole different kind of first after, just the dominating run of Sean Conklin.
And well, Brandon has been here since week 1, since the league opened the doors, and he has put together great runs week in and week out. Not the flashiest of drivers. You don't see him go up to the front and, do a whole lot of having a whole bunch of dominating races, or go make a bunch of crazy moves to get position. He's kind of like Benefield, just somebody that will sit there and let the race fall into his lap. You don't see him the first 3 quarters of the race, then you get into those closing laps and he's just outside of the picture for the win. Look at Becerra trying to take over a spot from the 5 machine of DeCiani. Good run so far for Louis Becerra, though, in that 7 machine.
Yes, not bad at all. The 7 sitting just inside the top 10. Well, 10th overall in the top 10. As we zoom ahead to Randy Mullins in the 54.
Roger Pierce taking a dive down to the inside of Evan Say, trying to take over the 8th spot, side by side through 3 and 4. The 27 machine of Roger Pierce going to get the spot coming into the tri-oval here. Now taking a peek to the inside to get a little bit of clean air to the nose as he gets up to the back of the battered 54 machine of Randy Mullins. Well, the machine's not battered, the driver is. But Mullins put together a good run of it regardless here. Going to go a little bit defensive through 3 and 4 to try and keep the clean air off the nose of the 27 machine. Roger going to get a good run out of turn 4, though. Peeks to the outside here through the dog leg. And they're going to be side by side down to 1 and 2.
All right, yep, here we go. Side by side. Pierce with the 54 of Mullins. Pierce pulls ahead. Mullins falls back just enough.
DeCiani coming down pit road for his second pit stop on the evening in the 5 machine here on lap 100. So cut this thing off into even quarters. Timothy Harper in the 51 machine just signaled that he's going to be coming in as well.
All right, sounds like there's a few guys heading down pit road. Try to get things rectified a little bit before they get back out on the track. And meanwhile, Sean Conklin and Adam Benefield still out in front with Bryce Reiner, Brennan Pasolaco, and Lou Christian, your top 5.
Lou Christian rebounding into the top 5. Pretty good run for him in the 3 machine. Start this thing off pretty far back. I mean, about to lose the 5th spot as we see Roger Pierce take a dive down to the bottom in a 3 and 4, but sitting well placed in that top 5 or top 10 is a good place to be if you're Lou Christian.
Yeah, you're gonna get points on the night that are gonna be very helpful to your final standing here. So look at where Lou Christian's at right now. He's sitting 6th overall in the standings, with just 50 points away from Joseph Causey. And Causey's not here. Yeah.
And none of those SRE cars are here tonight. Bunch of chickens. That's what they are.
Your words, not mine.
Somebody pull Justin in here. I'll say it to his face. Oh, we got a caution. One car around right in front of your leaders. Big crash. Evan Say involved. And heavy damage to the 333 machine.
Oh, no. Our first yellow on the night.
Let's see what happens here. We're looking at the machine of Kleinman, and
Whoa.
Evan Say just merges out of pit lane. I don't think Richard Kleinman realized that he was going to be there. That's one of the problems you run into. You see it, you see it more often at Richmond, that maneuver happen. But just the way they laid it out. See, he doesn't see the car there. Kleinman probably was coming down pit road this lap himself, so was trying to get to the bottom. It's just one of those blind spot moments. Evan can't run the apron through 3 and 4, but, Kleinman just doesn't see him there. Tough break for Kleinman, but lucky break for Sean Conklin because he just narrowly missed this.
Yeah.
As you see the 24 machine of Medina get absolutely destroyed, hood up, that means that car is going to be done for the night because that's the motor with it. Look at how close Sean Conklin comes to get caught in this. Right on board here as he comes through the dog leg. And they just explode right in front of him. Look at that. It just sheer inches.
Ugh. Yeah, inches, yeah. Barely makes it. good on him for not getting involved, huh?
It's the final blow there for the 24 machine. Medina, you see the right front tire locked up on the 24. And that's going to be too much for them to work on here. He's going to take that machine behind the wall. There's not really much Medina can do either here. I mean, you come into the corner here and you slide up in front of you, and there's nowhere for you to go. You can't correct where these cars are going to go in the center of the corner because, well, I mean, you've got the car loaded in there. You're committed to it. As soon as you apply extra brakes to it, it's more than likely going to either snap around from you or it's just not going to respond, period.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that happen.
Our producer's exact response to that was, "Oh, expletive deleted." I'll say though, proud of these guys. 101 laps we made it on that first green flag run.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing. By the time that the yellow came out, we were just clicking past 3 digits on the lap counter, which is pretty amazing that we went that far with only 1 yellow at the very end of it.
We should do it in A Open. NIS.
Too easy.
It's possible. We've seen them do it. Either way, the field in the hands of Sean Conklin. Bryce Rayner, the opportunist, moves himself up into second place. Brandon Pasalacqua in third with fourth place Roger Pierce. Gonna be interesting to see what happens here as the green flag comes out through 3 and 4. Sean Conklin with the advantage and a great launch off the line here. And he's going to have absolutely smooth sailing into 1 and 2 as they are 3 wide for second.
Looking at that 3 wide situation, it looks like it's calmed down just a little bit. Yeah, it's 27 pulling forward.
That's the power of that outside line through 1 and 2. You can make up a whole lot of ground if you can just get the car to stick up there as we see a little bit of smoke. 1 car around. Bryce Rayner, the 41. Oh, no.
It's never a good sign.
Absolutely not. Such a strong run he was having there.
Yeah, but yellows beget yellows, they say, right, my friend?
Right there, it just comes down to, come down pit road, throw on 4 Mr. Feelgoods, and, when you've got that carrot in front of you, you're going to try and chase after it, and sometimes you just give it a little too much on that loud pedal, and coming down the corner, it just snaps around on you.
Here we go. Eyes on from the inside.
It's a really good corner there, too. Great rotation, but the problem is the rotation never stopped.
Yep. It's a good way to put it. The rotation never stopped.
That's going to be real difficult for Rayner because all that ground that he made up in that 41 machine wiped away. Now starting tail end of the field here.
Okay. Any minute now, that pace car's lights are going to go off. Then it's going to be 1 more short lap to go. There's the cactus is ready. It looks like the cars are not.
Everyone stay out an extra lap here before we go green.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking of Phoenix so far, Joe?
Well, I think our boys are doing a pretty good job of showing this track who's boss. Honestly, this has been a difficult track because I can tell it's hard. I can tell the racing here is difficult. And yet there's been give and take. There's been good passing for the lead as usual. And so there's just really good. I think the OB roster's personality is really showing here. These guys love to race and they race each other well. That's coming out here more than anything.
Yeah, the OB Builders Cup Series definitely put together a good race here tonight. Good clean race too. I mean, yeah, we've got 2 cautions right now, but one of which racing incident, and one of which just getting off rhythm here because of the caution. I'm pretty sure we're gonna go green from here on out, most likely.
Yeah, one can hope after 2 back-to-backs there. Let's see what happens on the restart here. Pace car will be off any second. There he goes. Looking for the restart out there at the front. It's Conklin. It's Pierce. Where's the green flag?
Oh, it's still
yeah,
half a track away.
They're halfway to go. I'm just getting excited here to watch this restart here at Phoenix Raceway, folks. Hope you're enjoying it too. If you're in the chat, be sure to say hi. Let us know who you think is going to walk away tonight. And who you think is going to do well. As we got the green flag here, we are go yet again here on Grid Vision.
Another good launch for the Victory 1 machine of Sean Conklin as he clears both rows here into 1 and 2. Roger Pierce working the outside line, digging, trying to get to the back bumper of the 10 machine to try and maybe make something happen into 3. Gets a good run through the corner, but not able to connect to the back of the 10.
That's just it. The back of the 10 is what these guys are going to see for the rest of the night unless they can get their stuff together here. The 3 of Lou Christian sitting right there, trying his best to make up the speed he needs on the outside.
We'll look off the back deck with Brandon Pastelacqua. Lou Christian going to get past here through 3 and 4. Sorry, 1 and 2. I knew I'd mess it up at some point. Gets the pass, though, done on the 54 machine of Mullins. Mullins hanging on to a strong top 5 run so far. Broken foot, man, it's just so impressive. As he's holding off the 6th place runner, Shane Clore. Shane Clore using track race strategy to leapfrog a bunch of positions here and get himself right outside the top 5. Much needed strong run from the 72.
Here we go, back down to the dog leg. The sun is setting here in Phoenix. It's looking pretty good.
Roger Pierce takes an aggressive diamond here to get a good run down the back straightaway, closing up to the back bumper of Conklin. Now taking a peek to the inside into 3. Conklin shuts the door with a whole bunch of dirty air coming off the back of the 10 machine. That's going to force Pierce to slide up the track here out of 4. Christian taking a peek down to the inside of Brandon Pastelacqua here to try and take over the 3rd spot. The 3 machine makes it work through the corner, but doesn't get the drive up onto the straightaway. Drive off going to the 6 machine to Pastelacqua as he's able to hold on into 3 and 4. Going to run the 3 machine tight through 4, and that's going to give Pastelacqua the spot back here at the line.
Everybody's kind of lining up now, as you can see. Some moves still being made. But there's a lot of single file going on here at Phoenix right now. These guys are wanting to make places up, but you can also do a lot of saving.
It's just a difficult track, too, to get that other lane working when you're solo. Up to the back bumper, a little bit of contact. Roger Pierce gives the boot to the 10 machine. Now taking a peek to the inside into 3. Conklin going to shut the door again. Pierce, though, getting a little more aggressive with it here. It was, at this point, both these drivers just racing for the glory tonight.
And there's plenty to be found. Plenty of glory.
Finish line here. Sean Conklin holding on to lead lap 121. Moving to 122, down into 1 and 2 with the lap car in front of him, the 24 machine of Jose Medina. And you see the dirty air throw the 10 machine offline there. Conklin takes a peek to the bottom, tags the fence a little bit. Here comes Roger Pierce up to the back bumper of the 10 machine, but it's not going to be enough to hold back Sean Conklin. But it does pull Roger a little bit closer here for the time being.
Yes, it does. Everybody fans out there through the dogleg into turn 1. That setting sun is going to be in the eyes of these drivers as they are heading down this stretch towards turn 3 and 4. Just a little bit, and probably in just a few minutes here.
Pierce getting close to the bumper again there through 3 and 4, but just not able to get the drive off once he gets the dirty air pack to the nose. And he's going to send it deep here through 1 and 2 to try and get to the bumper, but isn't able to connect.
That was risky. That was very close there. Big looping maneuver there from Roger Pierce.
Pierce wants this lead something bad here.
Can he get it, though? He is putting the absolute nails to the back of Sean Conklin.
Is not able to get there, though. As soon as he gets to that back bumper, he gets that dirty air, and it pushes that 27 machine right up the hill. See right there, but oh, we got that 10 of Conklin. A little arrow loose. You saw the wiggle out of Conklin there. Pulled the air off the spoiler and the rear diffuser of the 10 machine, and it was a big wobble for Sean, but it wasn't enough to hold him back too much. Pierce now losing ground. I think he probably burned those tires up a little bit, trying to follow in the tire tracks of the 10 machine of Conklin. Conklin now walking away 0.5 of a second, separating him from Roger Pierce, and another 0.5 of a second just about separating Pierce from Pasalacqua.
And up here, we've got a great line of cars that are all single file, almost all the way single file. To the back, though, we've got a little bit of action with one of the cars. There we go. That's the number 2. Actually, excuse me, of Joshua Hyatt.
Oh, one car around. Shane Clore got sideways out of turn 2.
And we're still driving.
Gets the car locked back down, keeps it pointing in the right direction. See what happens here to the 72 machine. Clore running well when this happened. Out of the corner. Oh, him and Mullins got loose, but Shane Clore gets the worst end of it. See the 9 machine of Chris Crosby opting to be the first car on pit road here.
This might set him up for the rest of the night.
Good, we're getting to that window here.
Yeah, the caution will throw things off a little bit, but we could still be seeing guys. We're coming down pit road starting now, trying to set up a long run plan to run out of gas right at the line here.
Now 0.6 of a second, 4-year race leader over second place. Everybody just kind of single filed out right now. As I alluded to in the pre-race, it's just such a difficult track to really set up for the pass, let alone make the pass.
Yeah, it's true. And we've seen a lot of passing attempts here, and the only time that it's really been successful is when the car ahead has just kind of nodded their head and said, okay, all right, here, take the spot. The challenges haven't been as challenging because they've usually been handed to somebody.
Take a look at the chat. We see Adam Benefield describing this track in his own words, and I would have to agree with this current package. 10 6-10 years ago, this place was so much fun because of how out of control the cars were, and it just felt like you could do everything possible. You know, multiple different ways you could be fast here, and different lines you could take, and different things you could do with your tires to really set yourself above everybody else, because dirty air wasn't near as bad of a factor. And since the advent of the next gen car, it's just it's basically kind of turned into a drive and traffic simulator. Because everybody's just so close on time, as we got one car tagging the fence here out of turn 2. The 41 machine of Bryce Rayner. They working to the back bumper of the 72 machine of Shane Clore.
Yes, sir. Oh, ooh. Bryce Rayner. Very far down on the inside briefly, losing a little bit of control. Thought he got into the 72 a little bit of Shane Clore in order to get that movement. But, yeah, he went flying down to the inside. Right. Up here at the front, not bad. And our producer informs me, we are past golden hour.
Yep, sun setting, lights coming on here at Phoenix Raceway. That's going to be the final curveball for these guys, because this track's going to go through some changes here now. The sun is down and the lights are coming out. Track temp going to be backing itself down, which means you better brought a pretty free setup when it comes to the balance of the car, because once this place starts to cool down, it gets real tight.
All the way around, just looking for those lights to turn on. Eyes on Roger Pierce. Still sitting second in this race overall. Still about 0.8 of a second behind Sean Conklin.
Conklin just has the field covered right now, as you see. 54 machine of Mullins trying to make some moves a little bit further in the pack here, trying to hold off the 64 machine of Russell Black, who's working the top line here through 1 and 2. Russell Black going to get a good launch momentum down the back straightaway. They're going to be side by side into 3 and 4. Black sends it deep into the corner to try and make it stick, but it's going to slide right up the hill and up into the fence almost out of 4. That's going to the spot back to the 54 machine of Mullins.
He wants that spot back. He's going to get it.
Absolutely no. Now 3 wide with Evan Say stuck in the middle. Oh, Becerra leaning on the 333 machine here. Or sorry, no, that is not Evan Say. That is still Mullins. Similar paints threw me off there for a second. Louis Becerra going to take away the spot from Mullins as well. With 141 laps on the board, just coming to lap 142. We'll send it off to another quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back to bring you more of the racing action here on The Grid.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Hello again, folks, and welcome to the OB Builders Cup Series Grand Finale, brought to you by Stealth Racing tonight. This is the last race of the championship here. I'm Joel Castro, joined by Sheldon Atkins, and down on the truck it's Austin Derbyshire, the Grid Vision Boys. And we are bringing you the last race of the OB Builders Cup Series. Right now, Sean Conklin and Brandon Pasalacqua are leading things out there. They're separated by a little less than a second. Conklin is back out in first, where he was for a large majority of the early part of this race, and after some pit cycles, he's back out there, having pit on lap 106. He's going to have at least one more pit stop before the end of this race, I'm thinking. So we'll have to see how that plays out with the grand strategies later on.
So look at somebody who's already coming out pit road. Roger Pierce forfeits the second position to come down early to try and get Sean with the undercut. 27 Machine's been pretty fast tonight, was hanging about 5/10 off his teammate's rear bumper that entire run before he did to come down pit road. You see him now working his way through traffic. Some of these cars on older tires. 41 Machine, Bryce Rayner opting to come in as well. Signals out the window that he's going to bring the Team Conti machine down for 4 tires and fuel to finish out the season. There, you're looking at the difference then. That the time that you're seeing that 27 make up here on these cars that he's working through right now has roughly about the same amount of gap that he's going to be putting on that 10 machine of Sean Conklin. You see the 17 machine of Paul Gallimore come down pit road. There's the 41 of Bryce Rayner. Adam Benefield leaving pit road already in the 83.
Nice quick one for Benefield. You got Shane Clore.
Something wrong with Benefield.
Oh no, is he coming back down pit road?
That's got to be a penalty or something. No, is that right front? Is that toe link busted?
He's parking it, or he's trying to.
Yeah, substantial right side damage. Benefield at the wall coming out or something.
Oh no.
As you see the leader, while we try to figure out what happened with the 83 machine.
Yeah, looks like Adam Benefield has left the race.
Yeah.
Whatever happened, it was terminal, unfortunately.
Tough break for last week's winner, but it looked like that right front toe link was knocked out on the 83. The only thing I can imagine is he tagged the fence. We're going to get a look at it here. Got dead sideways out of turn 2 and stuffs it into the wall. That's what it looked like from the long shot that we were following there on pit road. And Conklin down pit road right now in the 10 machine.
And we're getting a little bit of an update here.
Yeah, Benford saying he lost talent. I don't know about the talent thing, but I can say that you lost traction for sure.
Here we go. As back out, it's still Patrick Gitter.
Mullins, your current race leader. And Danny Wiles sitting there second place on the 13 machine. Wiles going to come down pit road, not going to push the envelope to try and get the race lead. Right now, if you're Mullins, you're just praying that somebody stuffs it into the fence, backs it into the wall, loops it, flips, anything. Anything to bring out a caution.
You want to yellow.
That means you can come down pit road, take 4 tires. Everybody else gets the wave around. You get to hold your position. It's a great jump on track position. And when it works out like that, man, it's the most beautiful thing in the world. I feel saying that they need to fill the track with water and make it a bass pond. And handful of years ago, I would have called you a fool for that, but just with this current car, I have to fully agree.
Here's the 27 excuse me, 27 of Roger Pierce.
Yeah. Roger Pierce most likely going to cycle out the race leader here once all is said and done. But for now, it's going to be Patrick Gitter and Matt DiCiani. Those will be 1 and 2 once Mullins and Becerra come down pit road.
The 25 car. Saw him earlier. That's Greg Carr. Just a little bit ahead of Becerra right now, but Carr is back on lap 156. He's 3 laps back from the race lead.
You see the 3 machine of Lou Christian unlapping himself there. Patrick Gitter trying to get himself back on the lead lap. 3 wide out of turn 4, though. We got one car diving down pit road here. That's Thomas O'Hara.
Very good. Name we haven't mentioned much tonight, but O'Hara had made some pretty decent progress before he went down pit road, and now he's fallen down in the ladders a little bit, but it's a name we haven't mentioned much all season, really, I don't think.
Also, it does appear that we have a scoring glitch right now. Because 54 machine of Mullins is actually 8th place as it sits right now. Your race leader is the 7 machine of Louis Becerra. So Louis Becerra getting some much needed laps led here. Got his 5 points for a lap led as he cuts it really close with Shane Clore there through 1 and 2.
Yeah, I was going to say that was really close with Shane Clore. That was so close that I had to go, whoa. That was something.
I'll tell you one thing. If there's a driver that's going to make a move that's going to be closer than most would, it would be the cat behind the wheel of that 7 machine, Louis Becerra. Definitely has a flair for the dramatic, but has put together a good run here tonight. And in weeks past, we talk about aggressive drivers. We talk about over-aggressive drivers. And I'd put Becerra in that aggressive driver category. He's going to go out and get the most of it, but he's going to think about bringing more than just the steering wheel home with him. You got some guys out there that will go out there and send it and blow the door off and blow down the wall and wreck half the field. Becerra, I never put in that category.
Yeah, I don't think I do either.
He will scare you to the point where you hope that you brought a brown fire suit to the track some weeks.
Yeah, that's an accurate description of how Becerra has been driving this whole season. He's unassuming, but if you really put him tack to tack, he will do well.
I mean, if you give him the opportunity, he's going to give it all he can. And across the line here, 165 coming to 166, and scoring working beautifully. We see Becerra now 4 seconds up from the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. It's a long way to go here for Roger Pierce and Sean Conklin to get to the lead, both sitting back 17 and 18 seconds from your race leader.
Well, as it lasts right now, we're on 166, only about 34 laps to go before this race is done. 35 by NASCAR math.
Oh man, that definitely gonna be hitting that plateau point on lap times before too long. I just wonder if they're too far back right now, because there's only so much extra you can get on a fresh set of tires here. I mean, there's, definitely the laps are a lot quicker, yes, but when you're just a couple laps better than the guys that pit in front of you, I'm wondering. And also, if you're Conklin, it's not going to be an easy pass to get by Roger Pierce. Roger Pierce is, he's a great teammate, but at the end of the day, too, he's in it for Roger Pierce. You see these two separated by just under a second here, running 5th and 6th, and it's been a great season for Victory Run, Ryko, and Ken Byron, because all of his cars have run well this year in the OB Builders Cup Series, multiple wins. The dominant season that Sean Conklin has had, yes, but you also got to factor in too, he's not the only one in that program that's won here in the OB Builders Cup Series. We've also had wins out of Derek Heitman. We've had wins out of Roger Pierce. It's been a great year and a great debut season for them here in the OB Builders Cup Series.
Here we go. Becerra again.
Louis holding on pretty strong to this lead. Gitter's not really carving into it much at all.
Yeah.
Really, the only cars that are getting closer in the mirror are the Victory One machines on fresher tires, but, they're pretty far back. Becerra's got the opportunity to really save some tire here. Gitter slowly starting to make a little bit of progress here this lap, but all washes away coming back down the straightaway. Becerra's just hauling the mail right now, and he is stuck in some ugly traffic here.
Oof.
And Conklin making the move here on Roger Pierce for 5th place. Sends it down to the bottom of 3 and 4. Pierce is up there in that high line, just doesn't have the tire to contend with the 10 machine and lets his buddy by. So I mentioned how hard Roger Pierce is going to be, and Roger Pierce said, well, I'm listening, and I just want to prove you wrong. Oh. That is crazy. Yeah. Becerra, Gitter, and DeCiani have not pit. I figured they had. I thought they came down. I thought they came down way early. I thought we were looking at a massive gap in tire. I was wrong.
Apparently
Thanks for
not.
the heads up, Ken. I'm going to blame it all on this massive cold that I'm fighting over here.
That's
It's
fair,
taken
buddy.
it's taken what 3% of brain power I have left. Gone away.
Right now, we've got, in terms of sliding away or making a slide or the pass, we had Chris Vincent up there in front. We've got the 10 car of Conklin now, who's in 5th place, trying to crawl his way back up.
And Ken alluding that they might be trying to make it to the end. And here's the question: can they make it to the end from here? I mean, they might be all right on fuel if they've saved enough and pit late enough on that last sequence. But the real question is tires. I mean, we've talked about how quick these tires get shredded through here this week at Phoenix. I mean, if we get a little pointer in the chat from Ken, what the tire wear was on one of those cars on that last run, give us a better idea of what's going on here. But I've heard a lot of tire burn this week. So the question is, are we going to run into a situation where somebody blows a tire in the closing laps?
There's a possibility, and we've already thought 2 people have blown tires so far tonight, and they haven't. But they've been close enough that we've thought that they had. So specifically this is a real threat here. And there's a possibility that on the very last lap, or almost close to it, we're going to see someone throw a tire.
That gives us a lot of excitement, too, coming into the race this weekend for the Cup Series. Because iRacing's done a great job modeling the tire conditions that we've had here in the Cup Series this season. The tracks that we've had lots of issues with tire wear here on the sim, they've been having in real life too. Bristol, we had a lot of tire wear. We had a lot of tire wear at Dover. I mean, you expect a lot of tire wear at Dover. They struggled with it in real life as well. The short track tire is a lot softer, and they're going to be running that same short track tire that we saw last week at Martinsville, and other weeks in the past this season on the flat tracks. They're going to be running that same kind of combination, and it's going to be interesting to see if that might liven up some of the racing Sunday and make it more of a tire management game as opposed to you just send it and hope it sticks for 312 laps.
There's the sponsor car.
Yeah, absolutely. As we take lap 179, we just got to give another huge thank you and shout out to Stealth Racing for sponsoring this week. The OB Builders Cup Series, and man, it's hard to believe this is the last week. We've been going steady since May, and like I said, you and I started with this when it was kind of an alpha. When a lot of the guys running the show over here were running ISCA, so we've been following these guys all year, really, and it's such a great first season, man. I cannot believe it is over.
And you know what? It just means with the way this race has been going, the way this season has been run, there's just going to be more good stuff coming out of the OB Builders Cup Series. I'm sure we're going to hear more from them. So I'm excited. I mean, even though this is the end of this season, I'm excited for more seasons to come, and I'm excited to just see that juxtaposition of this versus the NIS series. Like, it's just been a fantastic 1-2 punch to get both of them in the same week and then be able to call them both. So kudos again. Just one last kudos shout out during the race here to the OB Builders Cup guys and the guys who put on the show and the guys who race it.
It's been an absolute blast to cover this. I am so excited for next season. And we still got a little bit left in the tank, though. 20 laps to go here from Phoenix. Louis Becerra with a 2-second advantage over Patrick Gitter. Sean Conklin running blistering lap times here in third place to try and close on these guys in the closing laps. The real question is there enough time for that 10 machine to get up there and make a play for the win? It's been a dominant season here for your more than guaranteed champion here in the OB Builders Cup Series. Conklin, 15 wins, coming to try and get the job done for 16. It's been a very Corey Heim season for him, really.
Corey Heim season.
Corey Heim dominating the Truck Series this season. 11 wins
very
last
nice.
week. It's been what we've seen pretty much all across the board in NASCAR this year, really, aside from the Cup Series. Arca Truck and Xfinity all dominated by a single driver, respectively, in their class.
Huh. One driver across all those classes?
Well, each class had a single driver that dominated.
Nice.
Whereas I'm just happy about the ARCA thing because my local guy was the guy that dominated that this year. Across the line, though, to take 16 laps for the season here. Louis Becerra with a 2-second lead. Sean Conklin closing it down now to 4 seconds. He's getting into the wake of the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter here. And with the fresher tires, Sean Conklin's about to put that thing in overdrive.
Yes, he is. He's going to drive that car. He's going to drive the wheels right off that thing. We're going to see him catch and pass Patrick Gitter here. We can already see the time shooting down between the two of them from a 2.2, 2.1, almost 2 seconds now of a gap between Patrick Gitter and Sean Conklin. So there's going to be, within a couple of laps, a challenge for second place.
Question is, though, is there enough time for him to really get the job done? He's still got a ways to go. 2 seconds separating him from Gitter, and just a couple of tenths of a second a lap here at Phoenix is a difficult thing to carve, especially once you start getting in the dirty air. And we see that he's starting to get into the dirty air of that 58 Stealth Racing machine of Richard Kleinman, who's just a little bit off the rear bumper of Gitter. Line that time, it was a 27.565 from Sean Conklin, a 28.132. So Conklin's still closing at a steady rate. And Becerra up there at the front of the pack still running 28.1s as well.
Here's eyes on from the leader. Ooh, eyes on from DeCiani, who's down pit road right now.
Climate King up over the radio, giving the wave to Sean Conklin to let him go by, says that he can go on ahead and determine his own fate here to finish it out at Phoenix. Closing in through 3 and 4, trying to get to the back bumper of Patrick Gitter. He's got a really good run here coming out turn 4. I got a feeling he's going to have him coming down the back straightaway. Gitter opting to go high, getting out of Sean Conklin's way, lets the 10 machine go on the bottom.
Here
If you was
comes
there,
Conklin.
you haven't sweat any of this run, but you just looked at the relative. You saw that 10 machine pop in there in second place, and now you got to drive. You have the best of the best hounding you with just 11 laps to go here at Phoenix, and I don't think you're going to be able to hold off because you see how much Sean's close here. Chris Crosby, though, taking a peek to the inside of the 10 machine to try and unlap himself. And Conklin sends it deep into turn 3, going to close up a huge advantage to the back of the 7 machine. And Becerra sliding up the hill here through turn 4. Conklin peeks down to the bottom of the dog leg, and Sean Conklin going to take the lead from an 18-second disadvantage here with just 10 laps to go at Phoenix.
Wow, he uses his knowledge of the raceway, his knowledge of the track to shoot down across the middle of the apron there, take up the space that he needed, and got right past Luis Becerra for the spot, for the first place spot. Sean Conklin back out in front.
And now all he has to do is drive away. I would say he's going to be driving off into the sunset, but the sunset has already happened here from Phoenix. Patrick Gitter coming down pit road, knows that he's not going to be able to stay out any longer in that 21 machine, coming down to get that final set of tires and some fuel to finish it off. Heartbreaking end to the season for that 21 of Gitter, but man, it has been such a great ride for him since we started in May. None better than that 10 machine.
None better.
Conklin giving the 9 of Crosby his leeway now. Crosby was nice to him when he was trying to make the pass for the lead, so he's letting the 9 go. Very gentleman move from Conklin. And I don't know if you heard that, Joe, but Patrick Gitter just came over the radio, and I like to think of Gitter as one of the better tire savers week in and week out. Just said he had 4% left on that right rear tire.
Whoa. That was getting ready to go.
He was not making it the last 10 laps. That's for sure.
No, those last 10 laps would not have lasted. That tire would have burst, and that would have been a real tragedy.
As we see Becerra coming down pit road as well. It looks like those tires are done for him.
And when folks are coming down pit road at this point, you know they're just about ready to call it.
And how about this run right here, sitting in second place? It's been a day where he's pretty much had to fight and claw for everything, but Luke Christian sneaking into a closer position here, P2. 2.5 seconds back from Sean Conklin. What a great run from the 3 machine.
Really good. Up 13. Luke Christian has just been proving again and again why he is not to be discounted in these races. You put him in the right situation and you say, hey, go for the gold, and Luke Christian is going to drive hard.
He's definitely going for the silver right now, but a great run from that 3 machine. I mean, I think I'll give him a hats off. I mean, he's going up against Roger Pierce, Passalacqua, Mullins. I mean, that's your top 5 right now. That's a lot of good stories in there. You know, a lot of guys that have had great seasons or, you know, had moments that should have gone a lot better this year. Things just didn't work out, but, you know, they've final race of the year. They're sitting there in the top 5, 4 laps to go. Great run. Especially at a track as difficult to do anything as Phoenix is.
Yeah. Phoenix has proven here that it is really a tooth and nail situation where you got to beg this track to give you any leeway to get what you want from it.
You're right on board with your season champion. Sean Conklin leading us to 3 and 4 here to get ready to close things out across the stripe to take 2 laps to go here for the OB Builders Cup Series. Down to 3 and 4, man. It's just, I haven't seen a more dominant drive in any series as long as I've been here, as I've seen out of that 10 machine this year.
Yes, sir.
On the back straightaway through 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Last lap from Phoenix Raceway, and most importantly, the last lap for the OB Builders Cup Series. He's been pretty much untouchable all year. The points speak that louder than anything as he works down the back straightaway. Borderline undefeatable Sean Conklin has dominated this season, and he has dominated this race out of turn 4 for the final time. The race and the championship go to the 10 machine of Sean Conklin.
All right. Way to go, Sean Conklin.
Green home P2 going to be a 3 machine of Lou Christian. Roger Pierce rallying to a 3rd place finish. After a little bit of issue on pit road, held him up earlier. 4th going to Brandon Pasalacqua. And 5th place on a broken leg, the 54 machine of Randy Mullins. Sorry, broken foot. Don't break your leg on my account, Randy.
I hope you won't.
As we see the Victory One teammates burning it down here in the dog leg. And plenty for them to burn it down over, too. Great run out of both of those drivers all year long. We know Ken's proud, and he's got a lot to be proud of.
Beautiful. Beautiful donuts.
I mean, he was so dominant this year, they put a bounty on his head.
Yeah. A legitimate bounty in the middle of the season. That's just wild to me. I never expected it.
I mean, it didn't go to the desired effect, but it was still cool when it happened. But across the line here to finish out a hard-fought race from Phoenix, Sean Conklin brings home the win over Luke Christian in 2nd. 3rd going to Roger Pierce with Brandon Pasalacqua. 4th, 5th, Randy Mullins, followed by Daniel Wiles rallying to a 6th place finish. 7th place, Shane Clore with Russell Black, Bryce Rayner, and Josh Schaffner running out your top 10.
Moving right along, Chris Hudson in 11th, Brian Johnson in 12th. Then we had Alexander Carr, Paul Gallimore, Thomas O'Hara, Louis Pizzera, Chris Davis, Chris Crosby, Chris Vinson, all 3 Chris's there in a row. And then Greg Carr in 20th.
And bringing it home 21st place is going to be Corey Moore, followed by Keith Long, Joshua Hyatt, Richard Kleiman. Patrick Gator brings it home 25th after basically losing a tire in the closing laps, followed by Matt DiCiani, Jose Medina, Adam Benefoot, Timothy Harper, Evan Say, and Tim Wortman Jr. round out the 31-car field. Also, Conklin still blowing the rear tires off as he tries to bring it down into victory lane, and he's going to be able to do it because there's no invisible walls for the 10 machine. All right, press the triangle button to get out of the car. Oh, wait, no. Can't do that on here. Oops. Well, I'll tell you what, Joe, it's been an incredible season and an incredible race here tonight. I mean, what did you think of the racing action?
Oh, man. I thought it was just about perfectly balanced, my man. We had a lot of green flag racing. We had a little bit of yellows, but they all balanced out to be a solid 200 laps of racing.
And we're going to move into our post-race interviews here as we have gotten our 3rd place finisher up here. Oh, Roger Ears Pearson. Roger, just talk me through it, man. 200 laps at Phoenix, most of it under green. How you feeling? 'Cause this place will kind of wear you out.
I'm tired, man. I'm exhausted.
And
Last night, this tonight, it just is a lot.
that exhausts you at Phoenix, is it just, the physical demand of the track, or is it just how much of a lull these races kind of develop?
It's the mental aspect of it. I mean, tire wear, not trying to burn off the right front, not trying to burn off the right rear. I mean, you're on edge every lap, making sure that you don't push it too much, or you're not, or yeah, I can't even speak, but you know what I mean. Like you're trying to find that right line, that right groove, find a rhythm, which is extremely hard to do here because you're changing brake bias so much. Like it's no laps the same. That's why it's exhausting.
Well, after 200 laps to think about it, what are the plans for next year, Roger? Are we going to expect to see you return in that 27 machine next year here for the OB Builders Cup Series title?
I think so. Yeah. Thursdays work for me. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my free nights. So as long as I can make it, that's the plan. I mean, this league has been a lot of fun. I mean, where else do you see these kind of green flag stops? Like green flag pit stops, green flag runs. I mean, what was that first run? 70 laps, 80 laps, something like that. And we went.
It was about it was 100.
There you go.
Right on the nose.
Right. If your PC
we had a stage caution in the middle.
Crash, then it's fun. You know, it's a great time. I mean, OB's put on one of the best shows on iRacing. It's like this league is by far the best. I mean, you got FLCC and stuff like that, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not doing full length. This is just the perfect amount. It works out fine.
With, this year all done and dusted, we know what the plans are with OB next year. Anything else you got looming on the back burner that you're at liberty to tell us about?
I mean, we're going racing tomorrow, Tri-County. I'll be there with Christy Wallace. Well, this weekend. Other than that, nothing yet to announce. Just normal racing. I mean, NIS is over. This is over. I get to take a nice kind of break and just race a little bit, set up for maybe Road to Pro. We'll see how I'm feeling. That 30 age bracket kind of hits you hard, and you got to figure out if you want to keep doing it or not. So, yeah, I don't know. Nothing to say yet.
Yeah, we gotta get you up here in the booth. Is what we gotta do, Roger.
Maybe do that. Maybe do this. I still plan on being around for some races next year. So.
Absolutely, you were definitely fun to watch on track this season. Looking forward to seeing what you bring next year. You also did a pretty good job up here with us a couple weeks ago, here in the wonderful Grid Vision booth. But who do you want to thank and shout out for the third place performance this year, and as well a pretty strong points finish too.
Yeah, I mean, Martinsville really sucked, man. If I would have won that, I would have finished probably top 5. But PC crashes. Kind of got that fixed, I think. Haven't had any issues other than today. I got pole. Greg was talking, my PC crashed, and I got back in, and I haven't had any issues since. So I actually didn't get to listen to the broadcast or anything, so I get to go back and listen to it, which is brand new to me. Although I have no idea what you said about me, which is gonna be fun. But
I was asking you to talk to us down the back straightaway. I want to know what your tire wear was earlier.
No, I couldn't.
You,
yeah, I
you say nothing.
I didn't
You say nothing. I called you a keyboard warrior.
Yeah, no, I didn't have it up because my computer kept crashing. So,
disappointed. Have you turned off replay spooling?
I turned off everything.
You made sure to turn off replay spooling though?
I think that's off. Yeah.
Double check and make sure, because that's been causing people a lot of crashes on this build, as well as massive frame drops.
Well, mine last week happened because of Sim Magic double downloaded the new update, and it was trying to read each other, and that's why. So my wheel crashed, and then my iRacing crashed last week.
Yeah, that was definitely heartbreaking.
Yeah, but obviously, so victory won, right? Ken, Sean. I mean, the two of us left, the last one standing, and still secure the team championship. I mean, that's awesome. Jacob Schneider is an ass. I know, I see him in the comments. I see you. It's okay. Love you. All the guys at Ryko, victory won. Kat Thompson, Randy Bell Construction, Best One Tire. I mean, so many. Man, I love those guys. They're family. I mean, we bust ass on these sets every week. Even next week, no NIS, just say open. We're already starting to work on that stuff. Like, we're just not done. Job's not done. So thank those guys. Thank you guys for the broadcast. Love listening to you. And like I said, get to do a first time and go back and actually listen to it through. So excited for that. And obviously thank OB, right? OB is special. These guys put on something incredible. Very excited to see what next year brings. And the competition is unlike any other.
So thanks for coming up here and talking with us, Roger. I'm going to hand on to Joe LaCastro here with our second place finisher this evening, Lou Christian.
All right, let's do it. Lou Christian, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Lou. Doing pretty good here. You were one of the hardest chargers in tonight's race. You were up 13 places from where you started. It felt like you were really giving it the beans tonight. Unfortunately, just at the last bit there, couldn't quite get up to Sean Conklin to seal the deal, but you had a hell of a race tonight. Tell us, what was your feeling going into tonight's race, just trying to get some points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, felt pretty good all week. Had some strong practice on Sunday night, and shout out Matt Busa. He's been helping me run these tracks a little bit. So we had some testing, but yeah, I felt pretty good. Did some races earlier this week. Threw on 2 tires at the end just to get track position, because that first stint, the dirty air was just killing me. I was like, man, I've not felt this bad all week, but turns out it's just dirty air. So last caution, or last pit stop there, in that last stint, took 2 tires, made some pretty big spring adjustments, and yeah, drove like a dream then. And it was just like, well, let's go after it. Second to Sean Conklin, I'll take that. That's a win in my book.
Hey, you did really, really good, my friend. Phoenix can be a tricky one, and now the season is wrapped up, so we got a little bit of a break here. How are you looking to fill your break? You going to be doing practicing? You racing in any other leagues?
No other leagues. We'll probably just keep grinding A Open, and looking forward to Daytona 24. That's on my book, so I'll have to break out the GT3 wheel. And yeah, no, just be around.
All right. Well, anyone you want to shout out to or thank for your performance this week, my friend?
Yeah, guys at Conti always putting in a lot of hours with these setups, and again, Matt Busa, Bone Bootwear. All the guys with Goated Strat. We Goated Stratted it tonight. Let's go.
All right. Hey, folks, that's Lou Christian. Lou, thanks for your time, and we look forward to hopefully talking to you again real soon.
All right. See you.
See ya. That was Lou Christian. I'm going to pass it on back to you, Sheldon, or you're going to talk with the race leader.
The Dominator's more like it, whether it's the race tonight, the race 3 weeks ago, or before that, or the entirety of the championship. Sean, how's it feel, man? OB Butters Cup Series champ, as well as a Phoenix winner.
It's great. I mean, that's how you want to end off the season right there, just winning the last race of the season, win the championship, team championship, get everything all in one. And it was a pretty nice long green flag run race. We had 1 caution that kind of interrupted things in the middle, but we're still able to get 2 green flag pit stops in. So yeah, very pleased with this race. Very excited to be champion, and yeah, just great race overall.
The final sequence there, did you get a little bit nervous, seeing those cars way out there in the distance when you came off pit road, or was it all calculated business as usual? Because I know as well as I do how easy it is to kind of overdo it and plateau your tires pretty early here at Phoenix.
It's a little nerve-wracking when you come out the pits and you see like 21 seconds, right? But it's all kind of calculated. We were just determining how many laps we needed and what kind of gap we needed per lap to gain each lap, and just trying to meet that mark every single lap so that we would catch them, and we would. So it was just a calculated play. We pitted a little bit longer just to try to get tires that I can push on harder for that last run, so I didn't have to save them as much and just kind of waste that time. Yeah, I just was able to push hard all the way to the end so that we can catch them, and kind of over pushed as well. Just trying to meet that mark that we didn't need to make because they were also slowing down as well. So we over pushed it a little bit, but at the end of the day, there was still no one around us, and it didn't hurt us too much position wise, so we were still able to get the win.
So, champ, with OB Builders Cup Series done this year, NIS out of the way, got a nice long off season coming up. What are the big plans for next year? What do you, both inside the sim and outside, what you got in store?
Well, not entirely sure. It's a lot of what ifs, but I'm gonna try to make the 2026 Coca-Cola iRacing Series. Try to be a part of that. I've tried for it before. I've gone to Road to Pro. I've tried it, I think, twice, and both times I didn't take it seriously because at that point I never took the sim seriously. So I think this will be my first time actually trying to go for it, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, there's a lot of people saying they got a lot of faith in me, and I just don't want to get my hopes up. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna put hard work as we can, and just see what we can do. See if we can make it. In terms of real life, just there's a couple things in the talks. Nothing confirmed yet, but we're trying to move up from the go-karting world. But even with that, I've loved this season in go-karting. Haven't had the best of luck the last couple weeks in that. The thing is currently, the whole front end of the thing is currently destroyed in the trailer right now from a hard hit up in Claremont, New Hampshire. So gonna have to fix that for next season. But yeah, in terms of real life for next year, not entirely sure. Definitely some talks of things, but nothing that's confirmed yet.
You so what are you thinking? We going fenders next year?
We'll be trying. We're trying to go fenders. Yes.
I'd assume plates of some sort.
Depends. I think that one might be farther fetched, but yeah, I don't know. It's been thrown around just a little bit, but there's gonna be a lot to make it happen. So we'll see. You know, this iRacing stuff, just been putting a lot of work into that, trying to get my name out there as far as the eNASCAR stuff. So we're gonna go try for that, see if we can get the name out there, and hopefully that makes it just a tiny bit easier to grab a seat in real life.
Man, looking forward to seeing what you have in store for us next season. Gonna be exciting to follow where you go next. But to round it all out, who do you want to thank and shout out for this excellent season and drive here this evening?
Overall, just Ryko and Victory 1, you know, with all these setups, you can't race these races without them, and can't win without how good they are. So, yeah, just biggest shout out is them, Randy Bell Construction, Napa, Best One Tire, all those guys that have stuck on the car for a long season. Took a few races to find the paint scheme we wanted at the beginning of this year, but we've been sticking with this one, and ever since it's been doing us good. Yeah, just great season. Again, great setups all year. You can't win these races without them.
Yeah, also, I got to give a shout out myself to Ken Byron for not doing like he did last year and sticking every one of his cars in the same damn color and confusing all of us up here in the booth. Either way, Sean, thanks for coming up here, man. Congratulations on the big win in the championship here tonight. And Joe, what are your takeaways here?
My takeaway is that the OB Builders Cup Series is one of the best in the business, my friend. I know it sound like I'm blowing a little smoke here, but I'm really not. It's just been great racing ever since I came over to start calling it and keep up with it. It has been some of the best and most competitive and compelling iRacing that I've had a chance to see here on the service, and had the privilege to call up here in the booth with you, my friend, week after week, with our producer week after week. It's just been a joy, and I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah, it has absolutely been a great season. I've had a lot of fun up here in the booth with this series. Big shout out to everybody on board here. You know, OB Builders for sponsoring this series and giving us the opportunity to cover it. Randy Mullins has done a great job with everything that he's done on the series this year as far as administration and keeping us in the booth, you know, up to date with everything that's going on, all the, you know, little gimmicks and it's just important information that we need to know. Randy's done a great job at making sure that we know what we're doing And man, it's just been so much fun. I'm so excited to come back and do it next year. Joe, hopefully, I'm hoping that you decide you're going to come back and do it with us again next year. You're right. You're here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Good. You heard it here, folks. We're stuck with Joe.
Stuck with me.
We're trapping him. It's been a blast. And man, it sucks. We're signing off for the last time till January, boys.
We'll see you then.
I don't know what to do without you guys on my Wednesdays and Thursdays. But from the entire Grid Vision team, we'd like to thank you for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcasted or starting your career in broadcasting, be sure to contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Special thanks to Andrew Cardinal IV of Whiplash Sim Cams, providing the cams used on today's broadcast. Congratulations again to Sean Conklin for the big win and the big championship here tonight at Phoenix. This has been Sheldon Atkins, and I've been joined by Joe LaCastro and our fearless producer, Austin Darbyshire. And we will see you next time on the Grid.